Alright, let's do the next one, which is a pact proven. Artorius, the Elder Seedseer has grown strong enough to receive visitors. Come, you must go to the Still Glade. Feign at once. Okay. And where's this? Okay, so it's in the New Gardania. Okay. So I need to go to the Conjurer's Guild and then go to there from the portal. I'm kind of surprised even up to this day they don't give like a Aetheryte teleportation option to go there directly, than just going to the Conjurer's Guild and then going there. Wow, that was just perfect that the Makote's no emote fit perfectly to my question regarding that Aetheryte. Oh, it's here in the it's not going to the secret area. Okay. That's what I was assuming, but oh well. Oh, there we are. Keeper of the Intertwined Serpents. Elder Seedseer, it fills my heart with joy to see you in better health. I am glad with your presence as well, my friend. And lest you wonder, know that the Conjurers found no trace of the poison in my humors. If you are ready, I will resume our search for the Gleipnir. They may be up to the task, but you are not. It is one thing to emerge into conversation, quite another to go gallivanting about the 12 Wood, hunting and blasphemy of all things considered. I am aware you are a conjurer surpassing skill, and would not presume to gainsay your judgment, but have my wounds not healed? Those visible to the naked eye, perhaps. I'm more worried that the stain of your communion with the Great One has taken a toll to you in ways we may not struggle to perceive. The Great One is a being of purest of aether, and you are exposed to its unbridled despair, its raw terror. There may be consequences. I'm aware of that, but Gleipnir must be stopped. Until the blasphemy is laid low, people will continue to die. How am I supposed to carry out my duties clustered here? How am I to liberate the forest and its people from its despair? Tis your duty to demand you to remain. I understand your frustration, but if you fell in battle, if your guiding light were to fade, then all Gridani would be lost. Rest, Kani. Rest in the gathering your strength, so that when the time comes, you are fit to do what you must be done. In the meantime, trust in your allies. If you must. You're right. That said, I have no reason I cannot join in planning our next step, right? As you said before, our conversation is quite unlike gallivanting about on a hunt. Okay. Our encounter with the Gleipnir has made it plain that we cannot hope to triumph over it as we are. Only with the Great One's power we can achieve victory. When the 7th Admiral Calamity was nigh, the Great One committed a portion of his boundless strength to extend the barrier over heaven and earth. The Irem Edge thus was the 12 Wood spared the most. If you could convince it to do it again, lend us even a small measure of that power. We could even need not fear the poison. Therefore, I believe we should pour our efforts in placing the elementals that we might earn their favor. We must make your voice heard again, yes? We must show that we are not the enemy. Quite didn't work before, it might be again. We must show we're not the enemy to the forest. Indeed, we must find a way to ensure that the Great One of our good intentions, to remind that we labor not for its destruction, but its salvation. I think we must gain a greater understanding of what drives Gleipnir. It seems to bear a resentment towards the elements, the Great One in particular. But why? I propounded this question myself. Lingering memories of the person Gleipnir once was my responsible. I have pondered this question myself. Lingering the memories of the person Gleipnir once was be responsible. Reports of the Resurhan suggest this is likely the case. In fact, if it could be ascertained the original identity of the blasphemy, but where are we going to begin our investigation? Well, I just got a vision from my previous encounter with the blasphemy, so I kinda know who the person is. You were granted a vision of Gleipnir's past? And I was there? Then I may know who he is, or was. As I do, the boy who trained alongside Kan-i in her youth. Supin, after all these years, is this what became of him? You mentioned him briefly before. Were you close? Sura was a Padjal like me, but he never known of his parents, and devoted himself wholly to his studies. He embraced the role of the forest had bestowed upon him, and truth be told, he was much better student than I ever was. A fair assessment, despite your earnest heritage. You never took to my lessons as well as he is, ever dreaming of the outside world. Stealing up to the woods more times than I can count. I could not keep watch over you all the hours, not even if I tried. The Elder Seedseer? A rebellious spirit? I can scarcely imagine it. I resented being a Padjal. I was more inconceivable to me. I resented being a Padjal. It was inconceivable to me that I could not live among the others. I did not scruple to express my misgivings to Sumi at every opportunity. Sura was a pillar of constant support. It was thanks to his encouragement that I at last embraced my destiny and resolved to use my gift for the greater good. We would have become seers together, I believe, until one fateful day when we were gathering herbs in the forest at Sumiyang's behest. We met with a worldly hailing from a distant land who had told us his beloved was with a child, and that he had traveled to Gleipnir to beseech the Great One for their painless birth. He asked us to guide him to the guardian tree. However, entry to such sacred place was not ours to permit, and there was something odd about this demeanor. Besides, with regret, I refused him, but Sura was loathsome to turn away a good stranger in need. He agreed to guide the man despite my protestation. I ran to Sumiyang as fast as I could, and together we made haste to the guardian tree. Later, we found the man motionless on the ground, having succumbed to the Great One's rage, and next to him was Sura, alive but unconscious. In time, he recovered and related the whole story. In truth, the man had been the adventurer, a seeker of wealth and glory, and all had left Kelt to make false superstition. He lunged forward with fear to the branch of the guardian tree. He was yet a child. Sura was no inkling in the darkness that he could not dwell within a man's heart. He learned the lesson that day, but the price he paid was a greater indeed. The Great One stripped Sura of his horns, and with them the right to call himself a Padjal, and was forced to expel him from the fane. I never saw him again, nor heard a word of what had become of him, though not with lack of trying, despite his hardship. Did he remain in the 12-wood all this time? I wonder. He dreamed of naught else but becoming a seer, and a life in service to the people of the forest. He knew the weight of the responsibility and was eager to bear it. But he was deprived of that purpose by the very elemental he loved, and yet he did not lose of that will to serve, I suspect, and instead resolved to watch over the 12 Wood in his own way. I shudder to think what could have hastened his transformation into the Gleipnir, as his life was not hastened enough. In our final conversation, Erisur confided in me that he would search for a means to calm the Great One's rage and earn absolution. To that end, he said he would seek the counsel of the moogles. They have called the 12 Wood home for more longer than we have, and so none are more like to have the knowledge of its most hidden workings. That comes to no surprise. He would not give up so easily on his dream. Even if the moogles are not of Sarasua, they will be able to help us in other ways. Will you travel to the Bramble branch in my stead, Artorias? I have faith that they will accept you with their characteristic aplomb. Well, sure, I made a good impression with the moogles before, so hopefully they will listen to my requests. Alright, time to visit the moogles at the Bramble Patch. Okay, so I need to teleport to the Halloween Hut. Halloween Hunt it is. Teleportante, Grace the Grande. Alright. Well, here we are. Hello, Pawaka Pika, and the Whisker Wall Kudip Kupo. Ah, quite a particular face you have there, Kupo. Familiar too. You wouldn't be the self-same ward who gave the legendary Moogle guard what for? What did you, Artorias, was it? Yep. Ah, it's an honor to meet you. Allow me to thank you personally for bringing that seamless to an end. Pulapika is the name. What brings you to our neck of the woods? Well, do you have any information regarding a Elder Seedseer that used to be a seer but is now stripped of his rights? Why? What a pleasant coincidence. We were just discussing what not to go about claiming the elements. Kupo? That blasphemy and the dreadful horns has gotten on edge, and for good reason. I've been asked my personal guard to hear to sleep with one eye open. In case you haven't noticed, the beast's corruption has been spreading all throughout the wood. Needless to say, we all got to stand and put the 12 Wood to rights. Radio O suggested that the moogles contribute by scouring the forest for even the slightest signs of the taint. Gotta cleanse it before it gets out of hand. You know, difficulty and time-consuming work, but if it is the service of the forest, then we will be gladly.
Kupo?
Hey, I know you! You're the adventurer who gave some of my finest scars! Goody Kupo of the Moogle Guard! No hard feelings for the whole hey-o to the thing! Kupo? Bit of a hope. Not going to call for a rematch either? In case you worry about that, Rayo and the others cured us from our tampering, and afterwards sat us down for a stern lecturing. No more calling for good King Bong the 12 for us. May he ever remain unsummonable in his royal grace and splendor. Indeed, and whatever way to make up for the indiscretion that deserved the realm. Even now our kin scout every limbs of the 12 Wood, and we would be amiss not to do our part. We should be overjoyed to have a hero such as you helping us as well. If you're willing, something tells me you have a sharp eye for the taint we seek to cleanse. Can you count on you? Kupo? Sure thing. Your reputation is magnificently well deserved. Let's begin by moving to the higher ground. Let me survey the area and locate any particular nasty spots of blight. Alright. Onward we go. Oh, there he is, you bastard! Oh, get up. Oh, you were able to make your way up here after all? I was worried you'd be stuck. Apologies for leaving you behind, but it's easy to forget that you lack wings. Now then, where is it? There! To the south! Let us cleanse that festering taint at once. Alright, let's go. I see that taint, and let us cleanse that. Oh, hi. Oh god, I didn't want to attack him. Oh well. Well, I guess I'll kill him and then this other thing. Oh, so much for that. I kind of be sorry for a person that's actually looking for this bee. Sorry. There was some fine work! I dare say it's even better shape than it was before. The others are doubtless fitting about stamping out the corruption where it rear its hideous head. If you're the Great One, it will be applauding your efforts as well. Insofar as such as being a without hands, I could clap, I suppose. How's it go, tanking cleansing? Kudai Kupo? I did what I could, but I swear as soon as I finish one area, two more starts to manifest. A fresh taint. The forest's ability to heal itself is warning, and its sickness is spreading too far even a legion of moogles can imagine. If you don't come up with a better solution soon! The situation is more grave than we imagine. Oh, what do we do? We should retain our efforts to purify the forest regardless, but since we're the only so many of us, we also need help the forest to remind how to help itself. I bring an idea. I think, how do we go about doing that? Well, I was about to get you that part. Well, I got it! We perform the friendening. A what now? The friendening? What in the name of good King Moogle the 12 may have showered us with love and compassion and coupled note is that? Truth be told, I couldn't remember the ancient right name, so I just made up something up on the spot. But let's not forget about that for now, and move on onto the stuff I do remember. It's an old samurai, first performed when the nation of Gleipnir was but a spark of idea of a random thought in its founder's head. They knew if they were to establish a home within the 12 wood, they would first have to entreat the elements for permission. So a mage in their company found and cleansed a few sources of a foul ether, planting saplings in their place, and concentrated the soil with a prayer to show the forest the purity of their intentions. The elements were so taken with this display that not only did they permit his people to settle within the forest, they also bestow upon him their blessing as proof of their new covenant. Ah, I remember now. The Gleipnir still honor the agreement to this day. For every tree that they have cut down, a sapling is planted. So, if we follow its history example, we can smooth the forest's pain and also nourish it a new life. That's right! Oh, but I wasn't finished with the story. Remember the mage who planted those sacred saplings? The one who, other than joined the Zero Okapota? The very first Padjal. From that day forward, the elementals will be blessed as select few hewers with horns favoring them with their fellowship. The Padjal were extracted by all the people of the Twelvewood. Even we, the moogles, look upon them with awe. And that's how it all began. I see. Something wrong? You have a strange look on your face. Well, about that, Gleipnir may be a Padjal, a former Padjal at least, but Gleipnir's poison is particularly deadly against hewers, then. Gleipnir's poison is particularly deadly against hewers. How so dreadful? But what exactly are you saying? I'm saying that maybe he's getting revenge against the hewers because, you know, he resented them. So the man you think can make become the Gleipnir was a Padjal stripped from his blessing, and the blasphemy kills with a poison that manifests symptoms that resembles those of the creeping death. I feel sorry for Sura. To love the elements only be surrounded by them, to be surrounded by the beauty of the Twelvewood, and not know that he was forever an outsider. All for a child's mistake. That despair could easily have cursed him to turn, and this poison that preys upon those who bears the Twelvewood blessing, the hewer just like the creeping death once did, might be another manifestation of that despair. I see. That would explain the elemental at least. And we must redouble our efforts to plant the saplings, or they might never speak us again. Indeed. Well, first things first, we must gather as many saplings as we can. Artorius, wait for us at the Ender's Nest, and make ready for all long and back-breaking day. I see. Well, maybe you want me to brush out my farming gear? That will be more relaxing than using my actual, battle gear. But, we'll see. Alright, back in the 12 wood. This should be second to the last, I'm assuming. Because let me check how many quests I am now. I'm doing a Pact Reuben. Oh no, there's still one more after this. There are two more. So I'm almost halfway done. Welcome back, Artorius. Did the moogles have any insight of your problems? Well, yeah, they kinda did. We kinda found out that the history of how the wood and the Gleipnir came to be. Not to mention, we might find a solution on our predicament with the blasphemy. A retachment of the assembly which laid the foundation of Gleipnir? A fitting plan given the gravity of the threat of our nation now face. As ever, there is much work to be done before we can even begin. While the moogles gather the saplings, we shall continue our scour to the Twelvewood for the new beast that must be purged. Let us pray that the Elder Seedseer regains her strength quickly as well. For now, take rest, my friend. It is a rare indulgence these days, but once you earn 1,000 times over. Thank you guys for watching this recording session on Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, the tanking rogue quest. If you have any comments, you can put them down below the video as well. And if you like this video, please click the like button. It's very much appreciated. And if you're curious for recent or old videos, you can check my channel out. And if you like the content is being uploaded, you can probably subscribe. If not, that is alright. But if you're going to, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified for future uploads in the near future on my channel. And as always, I have 3 projects which are continuing on my channel, which of course are Final Fantasy XIV Raid, Trial, MSQ, Walkers, Jobs, Minions, Mounts, or anything other related to Final Fantasy XIV. Secondly, will be FGONA for the Lost Belt 3, 4, 5, and 6, which have been officially released. The role videos, and the challenge questions. Oh, not to mention events that are also pertaining to FGONA. And lastly, to say the least, which will be Fire Elm Tree Houses, which I am always going to say in my outro. I have a bunch of them uploaded, recorded. I just need to start working on them for probably next couple weeks from now. I can be uploading them. So with that, this has been Raven Sleep 45. Take care, stay safe, and have a pleasant Final Fantasy 14 day.